Hey everyone. I am. Uh, I know I'm not my usual cheery self, but this is a big one for me because I'm going over some aspects because I watched the. God, I watched the. I watched the video for my life up until this moment, and I realized I left out some other parts of my life that I just realized that I left, and then I'm going to talk about some spiritual stuff that I went through. One of those spiritual aspects is something I also forgot to mention, and which was the time when I was still in my parents' care, around 7 years old, and I was being punished like always. I was forced to do laps until I was told to get out of the pool, right? So I, sorry, I'm just tired. I swam laps, and all I can remember was I lost count of how many laps they did. It felt like hours, and I remember eventually my mother coming out and convincing my father to let me get out of the pool. And I remember um, I remember trying to get out of the pool, and I guess my body weight, I was like jello, really. And I slipped and hit my chin. This was my first, I guess you could say, uh, out of body or death experience because I died. I remember seeing my body turning blue, foam at the mouth, my dad ripping apart my jaw to open my mouth up so I don't choke on my own foam, I guess. And I remember talking to my sister, who was most likely was on drugs at the time, and we both shared a near-death experience where we actually just talked. She said she was sorry for everything that for me going through the stuff that I went through, and she was sorry. I was told that I needed to go back and that I had a mission that I had to complete. It wasn't until about a year later I was visited by our. I was like woke up out of my body, and I was like, "Is that my brother Jesus?" And so I tried to move, and then and it was like zoom. It was just by the will of thought that I wanted to get over to that other bed. It was like zoom, and like nearly slammed into the wall, and so I managed to get back to my body, and I'm like, is this me? Is this my body? Right? And that's when Archangel Metatron and Sendophon appeared, and they're like, "Oh, I'm Archangel Metatron, I'm Archangel Sendophon. How you doing?" Right? And they said that they needed to take me to heaven. So I was like, "Okay, sure, why not?" I guess I'm dead. So I was like, "Oh, cool. I'm gonna leave. I'm no longer gonna have all this abuse." And um, so I went and got was there was like the throne room doors to heaven, right? And hello, Kimberly. Welcome. We're just talking about um yeah yeah. Why do you ask? I'm okay for the most part. It's hard reliving and talking about my past, but this is something I have to do. So um so I get there. I was the two angels that. Oh yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine. So I was at the throne room doors. There was I now discovered was Archangel. Wait. Um, I forgot the rank, but it's his name is Castiel and Sir Raphael, the angel of cleansing and the angel of purification. Which he's also known as the angel of tears. Um, I remember seeing a brazier with blue fire and being touched on the lips by the burning coals. So of course I was cleansed, hallelujah. Then was given garments that I like instantly changed into, and then I was ushered into the throne room of heaven. And so when I got there, I noticed I saw all these kinds of angels, from angels with eyes all over to six wings, everything, you name it. Then I saw the saints on the left side, all the 24 elders on the right side. Jesus and Yeshua came forward and they were talking, I guess, on behalf of God. And I was given a choice to basically either I could have had a nice life, a happy wife, have kids, a decent job, a nice house, everything, right? But I was given the choice to be a prophet and to be a teacher of how to have people communicate with God, not to God, not talk to God, divinely communicate with God, amongst other things that I was going to teach. So I chose to be the prophet and the teacher, and I was told that I was an ascended master, and that I was an elder that was sent to Earth to help people. And so I said I would choose the latter, which would be the prophet and teacher, if that God agreed to these three conditions. One, that God would not destroy the world and endanger all of my loved ones on the planet. That anyone that I cared about and truly loved unconditionally, any way, shape, or form, love, that they would not be hurt. That all their needs, wants, and desires would be taken care of. Then the second one was basically to how I would not give up. I didn't want to give up. I didn't want to die until I completed God's mission. And then the third one was basically that my brother's needs, wants, and desires would be fulfilled as long as they aligned with God, right? And he said, I agree, and boom. So there it was, right? And I thought it was a dream because I forgot later on in life, right? And so I remember being hugged by Paul and Yeshua, aka Jesus Christ, and being touched on the forehead by three of the 24 elders, and they give me these gifts. So I think they were passing gifts to me. And I remember hearing Paul talking about, the trials and, just about what I was going to do for God. And it was like praises to me because of what it was just crazy stuff. Um, so then let's see, a few years later, I got possessed by a demon. The demon was trying to kill me. I managed to trap the demon inside the cage, the mental cage that he created in my own head, and it actually killed the demon, which I believe is what helps me actually gain the ability to actually kill other demons. Like, I can vanquish your demons. um, so yeah, so there's that, and it wasn't a really good time in my life. Then let's see, there was another spiritual encounter. Oh, so my first ever apartment, right? Um, Man, that was crazy. So I had my first extraterrestrial encounter. This is like when I started getting awakened and had like um this like a crazy weird experience. So normally humans cannot see past alien technology. I'm different apparently because I can see through technology, the alien technology, and I can sense when they're around. because it's just like I could see through their invisible barrier. It's like this cube that creates an optical illusion, and there was a brown, wrinkly, leathery, scaly-looking extraterrestrial, which I later discovered was a draconian with bright green eyes. And he was talking to someone that I would call Man in Black because he was dressed all black, pale as a motherfucker. I actually found videos of this did that Men in Black on other videos. You actually have to dig through tons and tons of YouTube videos and keep clicking, refreshing, because they like to bury um, most of the actual real information in the bottom of the server. So if you're looking for extra technology about real shit, make sure to look like deeper than the surface level of the videos that first pop up, because I had to dig for this one, which I'll actually post a link to that video of that Men in Black because it was another guy that was caught on like actual security cameras. Um, so anyway, um, his face was like morphing from human to alien, and they were talking in a language, and I could like I listened in, and I actually could translate the words. Like I knew exactly, even though he was talking in the draconian language, I knew what he was saying, and that's what's so freaky about it. Does I'm wondering? I always wondered if I'm like alien because I can understand. Like I automatically translated the draconian language to English, and they were talking about how they weren't they were pissed off at him because they weren't meeting the human quota that needed human body parts so they could have that as nutrients to survive on the planet. That's why there are so many missing children, because they like to prey on children to use as sustenance, because that's like a lot of, I guess, a lot of nutrients for them. Um, so, and then the guy saw the alien saw me. It was like, oh, I was like, he kind of, I guess, knew me. I don't know if he like knew me, but um, he could know. He knew that I could see through the technology. It was just, oh, whoa! It was really creepy experience. But then he was like, "Get that one." I'm like, "Oh shit!" Oh, like I'm like, "Oh shit!" Right? I'm like freaking out. They're gonna kidnap me and try to use me for some experiments or whatnot. So all I had on me was some salt, and because I read that salt would is good against draconians because they're part reptilian, right? And I had some crystals, Native American crystals. Funnily enough, I did not find the one Native American crystal because I had like red cloud, medicine warrior, peacemaker. So it was these four stones. And I threw them in the four corners. I literally imagine, I don't think I imagined, I think I did do this. I imagine energy becoming literally in the physical, of electromagnetic energy in the physical. And then I imagine it going like in a sphere, and then it would like, and then I imagine it going above and below me because I didn't want them to come underneath me or at all. So I wanted it to be a full spear. I asked that the crystals lend me, and I put them in the four corners. Then I was like the saw, right? Like Hocus Pocus when the girl was right with all the stuff. Um, that's what I did. And I was like, I don't care. I don't know who the fuck out there. I said, angels, gods, Palladians, there is. I don't know who the hell out there, but if there's someone out there, please fucking save me. And I remember seeing um, UFOs. They were like, phew. And so that's how you know they can hear your thoughts. Like they know what the fuck you're thinking, too. So that's how quick they respond too. And I was like, I don't know who the fuck out there, but please someone help me. And I was crazy. I was freaked out. And I remember seeing like a fleet of what I would call UFOs, but I know better now. Starships, and they shot like these light lasers at the UFO, and I believe they damaged that Draconian's aircraft, and and they what else? I know the alien left, but he was also wounded. And then the other one, the one that was left behind, the Men in Black, he was no longer like in that form. I swear to God, when you know when you're an empath, I mean, you don't have to be an empath to feel the killing intent of someone trying to murder your ass. I mean, this thing, for some reason, it could not move past the energy barrier, which I know that yeah, no problem. I'm just going over spiritual experiences that I had in my life. I hope that these experiences don't freak you out at any way, shape, or form. Um, yeah, I hope I don't freak you out with all the craziness of my stories. But hell, hey, I'm a supernatural walking tornado. Like I can't help it. Um, so, but I feel like I actually created an energy barrier because he couldn't go past, he couldn't even go inside the church. I mean, he was like looking at me, and he disappeared. I believe either A, they kidnapped him or he took his own life. From what reports I got from the Syrians from that later on in life. Though I know, according to what they did say, they did capture him. But he took his own life in the jail cell. Because yeah. But anyway, um, so then I heard this voice, and this is the craziest thing ever. I heard this voice telling me it's okay to go home and see. You know me. This is my first extraterrestrial encounter. I was like, oh hell no! This I ain't moving from the spa. I'll wait till morning. You know. And they're like, no, it's okay. It was like you're fine, you're safe. And I'm like, yup. I told them if I fucking die and I come back, I'm on my way home, and I die, I'm gonna come up I'm gonna come up there, I'm gonna find your ass, I'm gonna beat your ass. I was just crazy, crazy, crazy. I'm telling you that it was like they were like, trust me, you're safe, right? You're safe. So I walked back, and I remember seeing a UFO fly over me. So they were like escorting me home, like for real. And I this all happened like there was the Thrifties. It's like Thrifties food market. Then there was a church, and then my apartment complex was right there. I was at the church, so I get home. Then I fell asleep, but that's when I had an out of. I think it was like they have a special technology where they help lift your soul out of the 3D into the 4D. Then they take your soul and zap it onto a spaceship. So it was like I was still home, but I wasn't home. It's hard to explain the technology. They covered that technology in the Blue Planet project. Um, so where was I going with this? So, oh yeah. So I remember seeing these little gray people that I call just gray aliens because they're small ones and there are big tall ones. These were the small ones, and they were running around my apartment. They were putting like technology. I think they were trying to basically put protection and stuff. And so they're running around putting stuff up, setting stuff up. Which that reminds me, I need to contact them to ask them to upgrade all the equipment just to make sure things are running fine and all that good stuff. Which I just got a message just now that they will be doing that tonight. So awesome, awesome. Um, so I'm very telepathic, as you can see. So I they tried lifting my couch up with me on it, which is so adorable because they're like lift me up to the ceiling, and they couldn't lift my thing up to the ceiling. So one of the guys was like, "Fuck this," takes out this remote. Was like, so I get zapped onto this operating table, but I wasn't operated on. It's interesting. They had all this infra things hooked up, and I was not afraid. Honestly, I wasn't afraid. I was like, "Oh, where's that? Oh, where's that?" They had to tell me like, "Oh, you need to stop touching stuff." And then I remember seeing a computer screen, much like you would see for like your heartbeat, but instead it was like a blue cube and a Merkaba, which I later discovered was the Merkaba. And they were like doing things on my brain. I think they were, and then when I woke up the next day, it hit me. It hit me like lightning. I discovered like I got implanted with knowledge of how they fuel their spaceships. They gave me an Earth based using Earth technology of spacecraft by taking a photonic laser at 369 density, um, a photonic laser, a densifier laser, shooting that white light at 369, then taking the seven crystals of this one to represent the seven colors of the rainbow, um, to take the white light and then the filter for the specific color at 369 densified white light, and then 963 of the specific color, like red for ruby, right? And then you had to take a infrared laser, shoot the infrared laser at the crystals so the vibration around the crystal could turn into plasma. Then take that plasma and with nanotechnology, build the frame of the spaceship, and then you'd have to put it through a sound room that basically shot these different radio frequencies. And then you had to take a zero-point reactor, and then you'd have to take a combination of the crystals and the plasma, and you'd have to make this Merkaba cube thingy that allowed you to travel to different dimensions. So you had to basically use some of the plasma from all the crystals to form a very multidimensional sphere, like a spear, and that way you'd have one for the front because you'd use your vibration. It's recognized by your vibration, and you put your intention and you roll it, And then there's also a spear for the engine, and that's where the zero-point reactor comes in. Now, there's a way where you could also use solar flares to fuel the zero-point reactor, but that's for another video. I haven't fully discovered how that comes into play. But there was another experience when I was very young. When I went to heaven when I was 8, I was going to like different planes. I was brought to this one plane I call the Buddhist plane because this is where all the Buddhists and the monks lived. I think it was Shambhala. I really do because of how it was. Because they taught me about sound and frequencies. They taught me that I needed to teach people how to combine solfeggio frequencies, simotherapy with biogeometric energy signatures. And I was like, what are those? And they said to look up Dr. Ibram Karim in simotherapy. And they said something about SIDA, and I forgot about it until years later. Actually, like it was very recent that I remembered that I actually was visiting. Because when you're a kid, you think you're just dreaming, right? I was just dreaming, right? I was just dreaming. But looking back, I realized these were spiritual encounters. There was an encounter on when I was with my roommate, and I knew he was a demon. There are demons that actually eventually have, when they get strong enough, they can leave the lower vibrational planes and manifest onto the physical ones. And how I knew he was a demon was because I did a test, and he would not touch the lavender blueberry smoothie. Apparently, lesser demons don't like lavender; they can't handle it. So I could tell because of my sexual advances, he conjured uncalled upon dark spirits, and it basically fucked up my life. I wasn't ready. I wasn't battle ready to face these things that he was trying to send to me. Um, there was an encounter when I accidentally combined mugwort amongst other things and ended up having a spirit quest where I was trying to follow this black wolf, black and white wolf. There were two of them, and I was trying to follow them, and I got lost from the Nordic pantheon, and then I a Celtic pantheon, and then I got lost and ended up in the Egyptian pantheon. I saw the Book of the Dead and the Book of Life, which the Book of Life is actually the Book of the Dead went backwards. Sorry about that. And so, I remember seeing like the Egyptian gods and goddesses, but they kind of paid. They were like, "Oh, you're not supposed to be here. Get out," you know. They're like, "You're not supposed to be here yet. Go on, get out of here." And then I remember having these revolving doors, and I saw the wolves again, and I went back, and I wound up back in the Celtic Nordic pantheon, and I remember seeing the Lady of the Lake with the sword. I remember seeing these. I don't know if they were giants or trolls, but they had trumpets. You could only see their feet, and there was like this mist, and I saw was walking through the wolves. I actually exited a stone circle, then saw the Lady of the Lake, then the people the giant trumpets. But I did see the banner. It was like a golden, not golden. It was a green banner with silver embroidery with the silver triquetra in it, and they were like right, and I was the wolf walked through the door made of light, and I was trying to. Right when I got to walk through, as I was walking through the door, I woke up from the vision quest. And how I know it was a vision quest is because I was watching Charmed that night, and the creepiest thing, it was so crazy, was that it paused the video with an image of a wolf and the word with the subtitle saying Vision Quest. So I know it was a Vision Quest. I mean, like, whoa, right? Awesome. Um, what else? I mean, there's so much stuff. I'm like a living supernatural like vortex. I swear. It sometimes get exhausting. Um, trying to think. I'm just feeling so exhausted and drained. Anyway, that's all I can think of right now. But I know there were some other ones that I wanted to go over, but right now I just can't think of them. So, um, let me just edit this so I can add spiritual experiences. Spiritual experiences in my life. There we go. So I'm gonna end this live stream now, and I gotta get breakfast in me, and then I got to go to potluck in a few hours. So yeah, I will do another video about deep work. So I feel like I'm forgetting some stuff, and sometimes I have to sometimes do another live stream to get like, oh, I forgot this. So there will definitely be a part three. Anyway, much love, guys. Talk to y'all later. Namaste. Well, my blessed beat. Know that you are beautiful, powerful creator, shaman, healers, warriors, you're all that in a bag of chips. Mwah. Kisses, loves, and may blessings and miracles follow you and be created wherever you are and wherever you go in your journey. Much love. Mhm.